Grab some coffee, a Mountain Dew, maybe both. A storm is brewing. The Brainstorm. Welcome to the Brainstorm with Matt and Mike.
Welcome to the Brainstorm with Matt and Mike. Wow, over the last 2 or 3 weeks, it is a completely different business climate out there than it has been in the previous, say, 6 or 8 months prior to this. And we've seen a ton of changes, and we're continuing to see changes each day. More information is coming out about this COVID-19 every single day, and people are glued to the news and trying to get information on that. My colleague and business partner, Michael White, is actually out sick. He does not have the COVID-19, thankfully, but down here in the Southeast, this time of year is full of pollen. And his allergies does not take kind to pollen. And so he barely can speak right now. Instead, we have Jared Clary, business development strategist, with us. And
thanks for having me. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming on, Jared.
I got through my pollen sickness a little earlier than Mike did, but I feel him, feel his pain,
Yeah, that pollen can feel like almost like razor blades in your throat.
Oh, yeah.
There's no doubt about it. What we're going to talk about today is how to continue to generate revenue for your business during this downtime.
Definitely.
We're going to talk about some tactics, some actual tactics that you can do, and some strategy behind those tactics in order to continue to generate revenue for your business. Let's get going with that, Jared. And so, listen, everybody is constantly talking about being courteous and thankful to others and support small businesses and support local and shop local with businesses are hurting. And there's no doubt. We should always be doing that, not just in scenarios like this, right? We should always be doing that. But today, what I wanted to do is just be greedy a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Because your business might be one of those businesses. I know our business is down, certainly a little bit, right?
Everyone's is.
And so a ton of businesses is down, right? And so what I want to do is, instead of just giving you advice on how to go to spend the less money, the money that you're not making as much of right now as a business owner, where to spend it and how to spend it, instead of giving you that advice like everybody's giving you, I want to try and use some of our experiences and what we've seen and what we're trying to do and what we're actually doing successfully for a number of our clients, and try to use that in order to help you sustain, maintain, and continue to generate revenue in your business.
Definitely. And I think one of the best industries that we've seen that from, although it's been hit the hardest, is the restaurant industry. You know, they've been clawing and fighting and scratching. How can we sell our eggs and raw meat and products on curbside to go? We can sell alcohol. How can we stay afloat? How can we keep our doors open? Even though they've been hit the hardest, and that's what everybody's talking about: support local restaurants, support local business. But they've done a really good job at being creative, of finding ways to make money and keep the doors open.
Yeah, and you know, if you are being successful, if you're a restaurant, you're being successful of being able to do takeout or curbside or even delivery food. The people that are hurting is the wait staff, because most of them work off of a really, really low hourly wage and tips, right? And so those folks aren't doing well, right? There's been a ton of people that's been laid off, especially big restaurant groups, big groups that own a ton of restaurants. They're laying off a ton of people. I know one group that laid off 700 people.
Yeah,
and so they have to. There's no doubt. Restaurants are all about a day in and day out, but everybody has heard all about restaurants for weeks. And, you know, when this whole thing happened, everybody was focused on restaurants. So let's just talk about whatever your business is, right? It could be home services. It could be manufacturing. It could be distribution. It could be whatever it is, business to business. The key is right now, people are struggling to find new opportunities. The new opportunities is what people are struggling with, no matter what your business is, right? Now, some people have shifted, right? So let's go ahead and let's thank the people that have shifted. I know a friend of ours owns a sizable sign company. He has shifted to making face masks, right? Because he has the ability to do that, and that is fantastic. Good for him. I'm really, really proud of him, and so I definitely thank him and all of the folks that have shifted their business model to help protect our first line responders, especially hospital workers and just all first responders.
Definitely. Our friends over at Central Glass have started to make the face shields for department stores, gas
Stacy
stations.
Puckett has done
like
a great job with that. So any type of retail, they've already got a mold, if you will, or almost like a die cut scenario where they can come drop a piece of glass in. So give Stacy with Central Glass a call. The person I was mentioning to earlier is Matt Vaughn over at Sinorama.
Great guy.
Doing a really, really good job there. And there's probably a whole long list of people that are doing good. But how do you maintain revenue? Well, let's talk about that. So there are some tactics that you need to use and be aware of. And there's some question about how to use those tactics. Email marketing is one. Social media is another one. And then social media's got a bunch of different platforms out there.
Of course.
You know,
Google. I mean, you just Google search PPC, any display advertising, all of that.
Television, radio. And so what's happening right now is there are more advertising tactics that are being consumed today like never before. So what I'd like to do is just kind of dive in, explain that it's actually still okay to communicate.
Definitely. If any time it's okay is right now. Everyone's expecting you to communicate
right now. But there's some nervousness about that, which I'd like to talk to you about that and see what your thoughts are and see what your clients are doing as well, because I'm being asked that on a number of things. I'm being told, hey, I'm scared to put out my social media posts because I don't want people to think that I'm taking advantage of people.
Yeah, or you're insensitive to,
or I'm insensitive to what's going on.
Yeah, right, for sure, for sure.
And so, but now more than ever, it's more important to push the gas pedal. I mean, your business is slowing down. You're not getting more opportunities, right? And at the start of the show, I said it's okay to actually be greedy just a little bit. Let's think about you and your business.
It's just an unsure time, we haven't been through anything like this before. People don't necessarily know how to respond or know what to say or what is this right, is this wrong. But the good thing is there's so much communication going on right now. I don't know about you, but all of the email marketing, any email that I subscribe to, I've gotten an email from them talking about COVID-19 and how they're responding and how they're prepared or what their status is, if they're open or if they're closed. People are expecting you to communicate right now. So it's not something that we should shy away from or be afraid of. You should embrace it and use it as a time to address your following and talk to them about it, because people are glued to their phones and their screens all day now. What are you doing while you're at home?
That's a good point. So social media, what we're seeing right now is social media is up 65 to 70%.
Yep.
I mean, we're talking about a communication platform, social media platforms, multiple, that was already so widely used and popular, and that going up 70%. Basically, what's happening is the majority of the consumers, which is all of us in some way, the majority of the consumers are looking at their social media feeds so much that they're actually seeing the exact same organic post and the exact same paid ad literally over and over. So if there's ever been a good time to run social media or to get your message out there on social media, now's it.
It's right now.
Right now.
And there's so much content. There's so many Zoom meeting screen captures, and there's so many just videos of people, whether it's celebrities or just regular people, organic content from their house or from wherever they are, just doing whatever they do. I've seen artists put on concerts on Facebook Live. People are glued to their screens. They're watching everything. That's all we have to do right now.
Right.
So don't feel bad for taking advantage of that.
Yeah, no, it's something that you should have already been doing it, maybe not to the frequency of which we're advising you to do it now. What we're saying is put your foot on the gas.
Right.
Let's go. The difference is how you position the message, right? You do want to be sensitive to what's going on, but you also want to be able to convey a message that you can still do business with that person. How? How do you still do business? Is it a scenario where you do require some type of face-to-face interaction? If that's the case and people are scared to do that, which, I am. I'm one of the people that don't want a lot of face-to-face interaction, especially with people I don't know, right? And so if that's the case, Maybe you're communicating via Zoom meetings or GoToMeetings or WebEx meetings, whatever, but some type of online platform. Maybe you're taking people to a landing page in which you're able to craft and convey a message, and people can interact through live chat bots, right? And so there's a bunch of different ways of doing that. But maybe also you're selling today at a discount in order for future projects to take place.
Right. Or making a charitable contribution, using it as a PR campaign. You know, you'll see a lot of businesses that are buying lunch or takeout for first responders, or selling some type of T-shirt with the benefits to proceed the efforts to fight COVID-19. So it's almost a free trial in digital marketing and content creation, and there's so much out there that you can't mess up. You can't go wrong. So you might as well try it, especially if you haven't tested the waters before,
right,
or it's not something that you've really gotten into. Everyone's doing it now because they have to. So you might as well go ahead and try it while everyone else is doing it.
Hey, worst case, if you do something like that, absolutely worst case, right? Worst case is you feel good about it.
Right.
I mean, that's worst case.
Or you're making progress.
Right. I mean, that's actually worst case, is you feel good about it. And I mean, to me, that being a worst case is not that bad of a situation.
Right.
Best case is your current customer base, your current clients, right, really appreciate the extra efforts that you're doing. And there's nothing wrong. In fact, we recommend it.
Right.
There's nothing wrong with making sure that people know it. Listen, if you don't memorialize it, right, if people don't know it, then did it even happen?
You don't know what you don't know. So there's nothing you can do about it. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Right.
So you shoot.
You have to. So email marketing is another really, really good way of doing it, right? And so what's the message, though? Well, email marketing is already approximately a $40, $42 return on every $1 investment. Reason why is because, and people are out there saying, well, I get a lot of spam. I don't like email marketing. Well, that's the difference, right? Email marketing is you're sending it to a database of which you have a relationship with of some sort.
Right. Not
spam,
buying an email list.
Spam is you bought an email list.
Right.
You're just blasting it out there to people.
Email marketing is communicating with people who you have already done business with.
Right. You already done business with, or you have some relationship. You might be chamber members.
Right.
Right. You might be networking partners. You don't have to have actually done business. It's certainly helpful, but you don't have to have done business. You just have to have a relationship with them in some way. Right. If you've done business or people have subscribed, then they're expecting to hear from you.
Right. You're not intruding on them. They are anticipating that email coming in already.
They're requesting the information.
Right.
And so that's the difference between spam and email marketing. Email marketing is extremely successful. Now, how do you get to a $40-something return on every $1 investment? Well, the reason is because you can communicate with your entire database, whether that's hundreds, thousands, or even hundreds of thousands of people, right? You can literally communicate effectively and efficiently with a consistent message, whatever that message is, right? And you can drive them to places that you want them to go. So is it a landing page? Is it a video? Is it white papers? Is it resources? Is it about the COVID-19, or is it about your business? Is it
a video?
A video like a product offering for a significant discount, or maybe you buy today or reserve your reservation to buy at a later date at a discount ticket. Like, for instance, events. You can't have any events right now.
Right.
Sooner or later, events will come back, right? People are going to have concerts.
And they're going to encourage people to spend because they're going to try and make up that revenue that they've lost.
You got to.
So you'll see, I'm sure you'll see a lot of coupons or rebates saying if these tickets are X amount, buy one, get one free, or at a discounted rate if you purchase before, or pre-sale, or some type of code, or some type of offering.
Right. My daughter's got to go to Boston in December. So she said yesterday, hey, Dad, with airline tickets being so inexpensive right now, I wonder if I could get on and buy an airline ticket to Boston. I know I'm not going until December. I wonder if I bought it now, could I have the price rate that's going on right now, which is significantly. We didn't try it yet. We probably could be trying today. So I don't know the answer to that question, but that's a good thought process, and that's what people should be doing. People should, not from a consumer perspective, definitely from a consumer perspective, but we're talking about the business itself, but put information out there and however people can do business with you in order for you to help make up the revenue. You might get some business right now, but in order to help make up the revenue in the future.
Right.
Right. So email marketing is something that you should be sending out. Now, depending on what you're sending it out would depend on how the frequency. Is it daily? Is it weekly? Is it biweekly? Is it monthly?
And what's the content? You know,
You
I know
gotta have good content.
if I'm getting blown up in my email box by a discount offer, like here's a coupon, here's a coupon, here's a coupon, that's going to make me want to unsubscribe. Like you got to give me a coupon and then give me some type of information that I can read, and then some type of content that I could watch. Maybe maybe it's just a funny video. Maybe it's not necessarily relevant to what you're offering, but you got to give me different forms of content, or I'm going to hit unsubscribe real quick.
And it can be candid content. It can be, you know, it doesn't have to be like professionally produced video, right?
Right.
Because you'd have to have a whole crew come in but literally you can literally take your phone out, and the cameras and video cameras on the phones are significantly improved. I mean, they're really, really good. And shoot a video, put that on social media. You know, you have like Facebook and Instagram, which is excellent for consumer type services, anything home services related, those types of things, even some B2B if it's behavioral type of targeting or demographic targeting. Then you have like things like Twitter and LinkedIn, where Twitter is more news-based. Twitter is very, very popular right now because that's where you can get instant, up-to-date news from your local news station all the way to the national news and international type of news, right? You can get that depending on who you subscribe to. People are producing content at a faster pace right now than any other time because people know they're consuming it. You then have things like LinkedIn, Jared, which I know you're extremely familiar with, and that's going to be your B2B market, your B2B area.
I've loved the landscape of LinkedIn over the past couple of weeks. It's gone from something that's very buttoned up, very extremely professional, almost too professional at sometimes, and now there's people in their living rooms, in their kitchens with their phone set up, taking video, talking about their business and talking about issues and topics, and I've really loved the way LinkedIn has changed over the past couple of weeks.
One of the things that I wanted to make a point about when you're talking about communicating is who you're communicating with. So hopefully you have some type of a CRM system, some type of operating system.
Otherwise you're going to spend a lot of time.
Hopefully you have a CRM system, because if not, who are you going to communicate with? How are you going to communicate with them?
You got a Rolodex, right?
I mean, it's CRM. Just like you go sit there and call each person. I mean, that's not going to work. And if you don't have a CRM, you definitely need to look into one. You can contact us by going to our website at thebrainstormradio.com, and we'll help you out. We'll give you some suggestions, and we have a ton of experience with those. But the reason why I bring up a CRM is because it's important to segment your contacts. And so let's say, Jared, that you segment out everyone that you've done business with, that you've actually sold something to, okay? And let's say you segment them out. You could segment them out to what it is that you sold them.
Right.
Right? And then you could offer them a discount or a special or something for an online purchase that's on a product or service that goes well with the thing that you sold them.
Right.
You know, because they already have this thing. And now you would know as a business owner that this other thing that you could sell them would go perfect with that thing, right? Product or service.
Like for instance, I've seen a lot of stuff where people are talking about e-commerce. Obviously, people are glued to their screens and they're stuck
obvious
inside.
one, right?
That's going to increase a lot, right?
No doubt.
So if you have a CRM or you have some type of system that can monitor your customers, well, you know that last year so-and-so bought a bathing suit right now because it's about to be summertime.
Right.
Right. So you can communicate that message to that. Maybe they need a new one. You know, they wore it out a bunch and it's done for because they used it. So the next time around, they need another one. So you communicate that message over again. And that can be seasonal or whatever is applicable. But that's the type of system that you're looking for, something that can automate that communication.
So what you want to do if you're going to communicate effectively with people is you want to make sure that you create some type of communication calendar. You really don't want this to be off the cuff. You want to say, okay, here's what we're going to do.
Right. If you had a content calendar with an ad schedule that showed maybe you have a really great cheeseburger lunch special, right? And so you're hitting people on Facebook at 10 a.m.,
right,
10 to 11, right before lunchtime, right before they're making their decisions on what they're eating. And you hit them with the daily special or whatever it is. And then you hit them again with, hey, you missed it today, but check us out next Tuesday because every Tuesday we have our burger deal or whatever.
Right, and go ahead and plan that out. Go ahead and try to plan that out for the next. Really, it would be good to do it a week at a time, right? And then you can just Monday is this, Tuesday is this.
Well, that's
Wednesday
applicable
is
across
this.
the board,
right?
Like, so if you're a moving company, you know, people move right before the summer, right? Because that's when people relocate.
Now's the time to be advertising like crazy.
That's when you want to marinate your customer and figure out and educate them on why they should choose you. You're not necessarily selling them. You're just building credibility with them, right? So they want to trust the people that they're doing business with.
Right, but you have to, if you didn't post anything, like nothing at all.
They don't know.
Then how they even know you're open? How do they know that if you are open, like I can call and find out if you're open, but how do I know that you're going to have my safety in mind, my safety first? And so use pictures, use images.
Teach people tips on how to make their yard better because that's what they're going to be doing right now. And you're building credibility with them. So when that big project comes, they'll be looking to you as a resource.
Hey, people always want to work with the expert, and that's what's happening. You're positioning yourself as the expert, right? But if you're sitting inside, you want to get outside and your yard looks like crap, that's not going to say, oh man, I really want to sit out there in a crappy looking yard. Right.
And not everybody's going to be good at landscaping. So maybe you teach them how to go out there and try. They go out there and they try and they realize, ooh, maybe I really should hire someone to do this because it's way harder than it looks.
Listen, you're looking at one. You're looking at one. I am not a landscaping guy. What we're basically saying is put your foot on the gas. There's no reason in pausing on your communication. The difference is you just need to kind of craft a different message, come at it from a different angle. But it all goes back to thinking positive, right? Think positive. Have some Zoom meetings with your team if you're working from home.
Figure it out. It's a free time to figure. Everybody is figuring it out. So take this opportunity to do the same thing.
And you've heard many people say this. There's never been a better time to lead than right now. Right?
Because everyone's looking for leadership.
Everybody is needing you to say something calming. Everybody is needing you to be the person that gives everybody hope in your organization if you are the leader of your business, right? Any type of executive. And hey, listen, if you're a business executive, but you're not really the most vocal person, let me tell you, now's the time to speak up, right? It's even more important because if you speak up now and in the past you haven't been the most vocal person, they'll listen to you even more.
Right. Just give some people some reassurance.
And if you do that, then the positive thinking that you enable your people to do, brainstorm with them, bring them and give them a seat at the table, if you will, even if it's Zoom, even person to person, whatever, give them the ability to create some ideas to help the business, because if you help the business, they're helping themselves. Let them know that you want and need their ideas. And by them doing that and participating, they're buying in.
Collaboration equals buy-in.
Right.
You know?
And if they're buying in, Jared, success is going to happen.
Yeah. If everybody's paddling at the same time, then you're going to go further, you know? You want to go fast, go alone. You want to go far, go together. So use the people that you got and lean on them because we got to get through this together.
No doubt. You've been listening to The Brainstorm with Matt and Mike. Thank you for spending some time with us today. Everything you hear on our show, we do this every single day. Go to our website and subscribe to our podcast at thebrainstormradio.com. Watch us on YouTube. Listen to us live on the radio. Either way, contact us and we'll be happy to brainstorm with you. The Brainstorm with Matt and Mike.